Hello everybody and welcome to The Road to Houston, coming to you from Folsom Field in beautiful Boulder, Colorado. I'm Dave Benz, and over the next half hour, we're going to preview the Colorado Buffaloes 2005 college football season. You know, the Buffs program the last few years has been much maligned with plenty of off-the-field problems, but those problems are now a thing of the past, and with 17 returning starters, the Buffs are clearly focused on one thing: playing quality football and defending their Big 12 North title, something Gary Barnett feels pretty good about, especially with a returning senior quarterback. Joel Klatt has been in the program as a starter 3 years now, and Barnett feels this could be his best season ever.
The junior quarterback calls for the ball, takes a chest high, retreats to the 28, steps up, flush to his left, looking downfield now, rifles it downfield. Ron Monte all by himself, catches the 20-yard line, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Colorado! 5 seconds remaining, and the Buffs go deep down the field, punting senior Ron Monte to take the lead.
Any coach that knows Joel Klatt would love and be very pleased to have him coming back into the program, and we're very fortunate that we got a guy his stature, his maturity, his ability, and his competitiveness.
At the 16, he's going to keep the football, knows he's got a timeout, dives down to the 6-yard line or the 7, and with 8 seconds left on the clock.
The priority for me is to get that percentage back up and make sure I'm getting the ball to the guys who can make the plays.
Here's a look at some of the records CU's quarterback could potentially break this season. Klatt is currently 5th in attempts, already ranks 1st in completion percentage, and is 5th in touchdowns with 30. But he's hoping to pass Coy Detmer's record of 40 by season's end. Well, as for the running backs, it's been a little strange so far in the preseason watching the Buffs practice without a number 42 on the field. All right, actually, I'm lying. There is a 42 on the field, but he's freshman safety Ben Burney. Bobby Purify, the old 42, is gone. He finally exhausted all his eligibility at the end of last season, which leaves the Buffs with one very huge question: who will replace Purify? For what seemed an eternity, he was the man in the Buffs' backfield. Purify to the end zone, touchdown Colorado. But that was yesterday, and today? Well, today, question marks have replaced one of the most consistent performers in recent Buffs history. In 2005, it all begins and ends with the senior quarterback Joel Klatt. He'll be joined in the backfield by Hugh Charles, who has had an impressive camp, and Lawrence Vickers, the V-back. As far as targets to throw the ball to, it doesn't get much better than Joe Klopfenstein at tight end. And with Blake Mackey out injured, Evan Judge and Dusty Sprague will both have to step up at wideout, as will redshirt freshman Patrick Williams, who should see plenty of time in 2005. The Buffs will be lighting up the scoreboard on the offensive side of the football this year. The question is, how many points will the Buffs defense allow? Obviously, defense wins championships, and with 8 returning starters on that side of the football, the Buffs begin 2005 feeling pretty good.
I think our defense is going to be tremendous. We're showing great. Out here in camp, we're doing real well, and so I think we have potential to be great and be a lot better than we were last year.
It's fun to see us flying around and making plays and doing what we're supposed to, and not worrying about the little mistakes that we were doing a year or a year or two ago, and just going out and playing football and not worrying about X's and O's and just executing. We work hard. We come to Colorado. We don't come here to be second-rate teams. We come here to win championships, and that's what's expected is that, and that's it, that alone.
Take a look at a probable defensive lineup for CU. Up front, the monsters to worry about: James Gary and Alonzo Barrett. But let's not forget Alex Ligon, who will be anxious to could be poised for quite a season. What do the experts think? Well, time to find out as we bring in Bill Land, the host.
On leadership and quarterback position, it is impossible to not like Joel Klatt. If you can just spend 5 minutes with this guy, he's like, where do I go in the huddle? What do I need to do for you? And I think his leadership skills, along with, as you guys mentioned, got to have some help at that receiver position, have somebody throw the football and catch it. They got a shot. Don't count those Buffaloes out. They've come through a lot of adversity.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. We're heading for a timeout here on the road to Houston, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to break down Game 1 of the Buff season. It's a big one. It's the Rocky Mountain Showdown. That's next. Stick around. Well, there's no question that was one of the more memorable contests for Colorado in 2004. Welcome back to the road to Houston, everybody. You know, last season's last-second victory as a catapult to a 3-0 start and the Big 12 North title.
It's great, you know, it's fun, you know, it's hyped up in the state. And me not being from the state, you know, I had to learn about it and learn to appreciate it and like it and actually become deeply enthralled in it.
And while this year's showdown will mark the first in some time without the former Buff turned Ram, Marcus Houston, providing a subplot, expect the disdain to remain.
It's one of those big games. We have it in red down in the
College sports, where America's top teams, toughest conferences, and Heisman hopefuls strut their stuff.
What a catch! Unbelievable!
Every Saturday, all season long.
Look at this guy go!
College Football Saturday, presented by Kyocera, live on Fox College Sports.
The Buffs' schedule this season begins with the annual Rocky Mountain Showdown versus in-state rival Colorado State. But it's this stretch, beginning on September 20, starters from a team that finished 11th in the nation in 2004. Then it's on to Oklahoma State, where the Buffs will hope to avenge a 42-14 loss versus the Cowboys last season. Next, they face the Aggies, who returned 17 starters from a team that beat CU in overtime in 04. They end the stretch in Austin, battling a Texas team that is loaded with talent and could be ranked in the top 5 when they face Colorado on October 15th. Well, when he was asked about his team's schedule at Media Day, Gary Barnett replied, "Does someone have a handkerchief?" That is how tough the Buffs will have it in 2005, and it won't be easy in the Big 12 North either. Sure, that's considered the lesser of the two divisions in the conference, but it will still be a tough road to hoe. Here's a look at the rest of the Big 12 North. Last year's young Iowa State team surprised many by collecting 7 wins on the season. Now, sophomores Brett Meyer and his favorite target, Todd Blythe, are looking for a better finish this time around. The Cyclones are looking for respect and a 6th bowl game in 7 years. At Nebraska, JUCO transfer Zach Taylor takes over at quarterback, and Nebraska finally has a leader with a firm grasp of Bill Callahan's offense. Be the key to the Sooners' success, as quarterback Jason White has finally graduated Norman. The Sooners return the fewest starters of any team in the Big 12 and will have a tough time October 8th as they host a Longhorn team that will be looking to avenge 5 straight losses. At Texas A&M, the Aggies return 18 starters, including quarterback Reggie McNeil, a possible Heisman candidate in just his 2nd year as starter. Of the Big 12 Conference, that's not to say Colorado won't have plenty of competition in the North, but Gary Barnett with 17 returning starters and a host of capable running backs to replace Bobby Purify feels very good about his team's chances. That's going to do it for the road to Houston. Thanks for watching. We'll see you all season long right here on FSN.
Y'all ready, baby? Let's go, baby.
He's at the 50, really makes a man move. Junior one man gets climbed across the 50. Elbows rolling to the right, looks to throw, guns, pass, caught, touchdown.
The Buffs now switch gears to tackle the Aggies of New Mexico State. New Mexico State versus Colorado. Unleash the Buffalo. College football in Boulder. It's next.
Alongside the Rockies on a perfect autumn evening, the barbecues are blazing. There's someone who absolutely loves it. It smells way too good up here. Just not fair, is it? From Folsom Field, Boulder, Colorado, it's the Dr. Pepper Big 12 Game of the Week. From the WAC, the Aggies of New Mexico State taking on the Colorado Buffaloes.
Who played last year, Paul Dombrowski, he's his go-to.
Going Boulder, Colorado. Stick around. It's the WAC and the Big 12. We'll be right back with the starting lineups. The opening kick on FSN.
Welcome to our college football Saturday nothing. Look at the play action. Junior Vince Young hands it off to Billy Pittman. Up the middle, 6-yard touchdown. 10-0 Texas. Justin Zwick started. Troy Smith came in, and he has electrified the offense for Ohio State to Santonio Holmes. Wow. Buckeyes led by 3 at the break. Texas has forced the call. Enjoy the first half, everybody.
Welcome back to Boulder, Colorado. I'm John Raddick.
Radigan. I'll be working the sidelines all game long, and I'll be bringing you updates from down here, but we start with the story of a great kicker. Having spent a couple of days here in Boulder, we know that Mason Crosby is one of the most revered and respected kickers in America, and why not? Who can forget Iowa State last year when he kicked 4 field goals, including a 55 and a 60-yarder, and last week when he kicked the game-winning 47-yarder, and the Buffaloes beat their rival, Colorado State. This kid has never missed inside the 40. That's why he's like Elvis around here. We're at altitude, and we are ready for the kickoff. It's Mason Crosby to do the honors. Let's take it back upstairs to Joel and Gary.
All right, John. Good crowd. And the first time these two teams have ever matched up in football. So we are ready to go at Folsom Field in Boulder. Man in the middle, Jim Lemon, freshman from La Mirada, California, Southern California native. Will he be able to touch it, though? That's what I figured. Out of the end zone, the Eagle, Idaho, a transfer out of Boise from Pima Community College.
Play a bowl game last year, was very impressed with him, and I know the coaches for New Mexico State, Hal Mummy in particular, really liked him and was happy to get him into their program.
Good gap and a surge for Chris Dombrowski had 15 catches last week. More Ali will get the rest of the starting lineup. They try to get it outside. Better job last week, but a totally different scheme this week. And what a pop in the backfield, loose ball. Firing through, it was Billingsley. He really got to the ball carrier in a hurry. And in fact, that was Justin Berry, the running back out of Mesquite, Texas.
When we talked to Mike Hankwitz, the defense coordinator, he said, hey, we're going to penetrate inside in between the center gaps.
Away at the 40. Needed a block to the outside. Still, great territory. Inside the 40 throws in the first quarter, but as his head coach said, he settled down and he'd have a bad throw the rest of the game. He was 22 of 33 last week, threw for almost 300 yards. In the eye, the tailback, Hugh Charles. Now, what a debut for Charles, weaving his way to good yardage inside.
About him is his ability to accelerate. He finds the hole, and then, hey, he's got a good leverage, good low pad level, gets his helmet down, and gets a couple extra yards. He doesn't go down on the first contact. That's important for us.
Gary Barnett told us was defensively.
Tipnewski and also Joe Klopfenstein and Hugh Charles. And the defensive, what they want to do is put pressure up the middle. We saw that. They've got a big stop on third down already against this New Mexico offense.
And now it's the big back Vickers. Hammering it straight ahead. He's in. Touchdown, Colorado. Another one to the bowl. That's Lawrence Vickers, the senior from Houston.
Well, they call him the V-back, the most versatile back.
30 Eastern, 9:30 Pacific, all right here on FSN. Joel Myers, Gary Reasons, John Radigan back at Folsom Field. Buffaloes have it at their own 31. They're trying to open 2-0 for the third consecutive season. They're going to bye next week, an early bye, and then a tough road trip. Play fake, man the dump off for Vickers. Nice block outside, and he showed patience. Gets the first down, and he waited for his wide receiver over on that side. Good block by Evan Judge.
Versatile, that's what he's called, the V-back. That's what
for the Buffaloes coming up. Don't forget, we'll head to Mike Goldberg, the guys in the third. Right around 8 at the 11. Clapp. Little fade, corner, and overshoots his sophomore receiver, Dusty Sprague. It's a 28-yard field goal attempt. Mason Crosby, did he block it out to the right? No, they say it's up and good. Home cookie, and Colorado leads 13-0.
It's on the board, but offensively they like to pound it in. They started this ball game very, very well with the running game and marched it on down. It looked like that they were going to, pretty much handle the defensive front for the New Mexico State Aggies, but they're kind of a bend but don't break style of defense right now, just allowing the 2 field goals after that early touchdown.
So Gill needs 10 from his own 20. Pocket holds up well, and on the out, grab well short at the 28, man. So Klatt trying to set up a screen, and Hugh Charles will find the sideline to save a timeout. Giving up 9 points over the last 95 seconds of the half. Klatt, plenty of time, and his wide receiver is there over the middle. It's quite a shot applied. as it was taken.
Well, they've got the hash. They're going outside the hash. They got too deep zone coverage, and the safeties are too wide, and giving too much room for a seasoned veteran quarterback, Joel Klatt, to just go right down the middle of the field, and we've got a timeout here on the field.
When I say picked it up, 12 of 18. So he's on pace for what he did last week with 132 yards.
Those are good, solid numbers. I don't think that Gary Barnett would be disappointed if he said, "Hey, Joel Klatt's going to go 12 of 18 for 132."
And they've had 8 different receivers. Talk about balance and spreading the ball around. Slide Klopfenstein. And Klatt wants to throw into the corner. He's got Vickers out of the backfield. Touchdown, Colorado.
And it's Billy Ray.
John Redigan, thank you very much.
These are the voices of Colorado's University, and this is our creed.
At the University of Colorado, we act with honor,
integrity, and accountability.
In my interactions with students,
faculty, and staff, we are the University of Colorado.
We are the University of Colorado.
We are the University of Colorado.
Welcome back to Folsom Field. We're ready to start the second. Back upstairs to Joel and Gary.
Well, the numbers tell the story.
They have a little chink taken out of their armor last week against rushing attempts, passing attempts. That's what they like to do. Now, the yardage doesn't always equal out the same, but they want to keep balance on their football team with what they're trying to do offensively.
So they get the 5-yard mark off, making it 1st and 15 from the midfield stripe. Hugh Charles finding a little crease for 4. Well, I've taken my share of puddle jumps. On 2nd and 11, Vickers felt it early. Man is going to...
Well, Gary Bernard told us that he wanted to run.
From the 43 of New Mexico State. Pocket holding up for Klatt. The gun over the middle. Man, a first down. Klopfenstein's got it. Down to the 33. Line. Kiss is performing after the contest tonight. We had fireworks at halftime. Student body section. They're good here. Sometimes you wonder if they know there's a game going on. Charles, the motion man. Vickers, the power back, just hammering up the middle. He breaks tackles for a first down. Well, we talked about the versatility. Football test is essentially what Gary Barnett was reflecting on at halftime. 15 carries last week for 101 yards. And you
huge plus.
So first down, and they can get another. It's just outside of the 10. They pick up the blitz, and there's going to be pass interference. Called it a touchdown. He caught it anyway. What a grab by Sipnewski. Incredible.
That ball was on the back of the defensive back, and he took it off of his back and pulled it over the top. Was interfered with anyway, but he makes a heck of a catch.
Little concentration.
Watch Quinn Sipnewski in the back of the end zone. He's all covered up. That ball's on the top of the player's helmet. He pulls it down. What a catch by Quinn.
He pulled it off the back of the linebacker. Out of the hold of holes, it's Crosby. And the Buffaloes now lead it 29-0. So their first drive of the second half, a 59-yarder. Sipnewski with a spectacular catch. Colorado.
He grabs it around there with 2 hands, pulls it up over the top, and linebacker tries to do something but just can't get in there. And Quinn Sipnewski, that might be the catch of the week here in the Big 12.
Big guy. You talked about the size of Klopfenstein. New Mexico State will have it 1st and 10 of the...
We're nationwide live. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your University of Colorado. Go! GMC truck. The New Mexico State 36. Second and 4 at the 14. Point after touchdown is good by Mason Crosby. 9:26 remaining on the first quarter. Colorado 7, New Mexico State 0. No gain on the play. Sideline warning given to the of a yard on the play. 3rd and 7.
Well, I'm in Folsom Stadium, Folsom Field here in Boulder, Colorado.
.5,000 yards for his CU career. Club joins Cordell Stern and Coy Detmer with more than 5,000 career yards. 33-yard field goal is good.
Here at Folsom Field, Boulder, Colorado. It's a beautiful night for a game. I'm glad I finally made it out here.
On the tackle, first down, Golden Buffaloes. Ball at the New Mexico State 25.
1
Swede. VY, 18 of 29, 270 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Point after gets 10 to win at Columbus as they shock the Buckeyes.
Well, I enjoyed my visit to Folsom Field. It's been a beautiful weekend here in Boulder.
Victory against rival Colorado State.